Hey guys, so I'm back with my computer and today we are going to learn about handling files with Python programming. So we can read, write data into files with using Python programming. So open your Visual Studio Code as usual. So here I have this code from my previous video. If you haven't watched it yet, then you can find the link in the I button now. Okay, so with that said, let me delete all this code. Okay, so far yet we have this file here. So now let us create a file, let's say example.txt. Okay, so we have a basic text file here, and let us say here this is a simple text file. Okay, so we have this text over here in this example.txt file. Now what we are going to do here is we are going to read that text. We are going to get that text from this example.txt. Okay, so for that what we can do is we can create basically we can open a file with using this open function. Okay, here you can see we have to provide the name of file. So the name of file is example.txt, the mode in which we want to open it. So there are multiple modes like write mode, read mode, append mode. So currently we just need to read that data. So for that we have this R here. So now what we are doing is we are reading the data out of this example.txt file. And now let me just simply create a file. Let us store it in this file variable. And now what we will do is we'll say file.read, and we will read all of that data and we will simply print that data. So we will print this data, and then what we are going to do is we will close this file with using this close function. So remember there are these three functions: open, which will take two arguments. First is the name of actual file, and the second will be the method or the mode in which you want to open your file. So if you want to write some data to your file, then you will use W here like this. If you want to add some data, you will use append here, just like in our lists. And if you simply want to read, you will use R here. In many cases there are much more methods or modes as well, like read bytes and write bytes, but we'll see them in further videos. Okay, so currently we have opened a file. We have opened our example.txt in read mode, and then we have this read method which will read all the data from this file, and then we are printing that on the terminal, and then we are closing the file. And do not forget to close the file if you are developing a big application production environment. If you forgot to close the file will be opened in the background, and that can cause some chaos. So for that you have to close your file just like this. So you can close your file with using this close method. So now let me run this code. Okay, so here you can see we have this text. This is a simple text file. So we have successfully got the text. We have successfully fetched the text. We have successfully read the text from our example.txt. Now what if I want to read some text? Okay, so in case if I want to read some text from my example.txt, I can use this. But what if I want to write some text now? So to write some text, we will simply use W here. So now first of all, let me just comment this out and let me add one more comment here. Okay, so to read the data from a file. So to read a data from a file, we will do this. And now here, okay, to write the data to a file. So to write some data to a file. So now what we will do is we will again use our open method. First we need to open a file. Okay, so we will open example.txt in write mode. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we will store it in, let's say, file. You can give any name if whichever you want, but file is just a name which suits this, so that's why I have used file here. So you can give f and you can use any name that you want. Now let us use write method. Previously we used a read method, now we are using this write method. So let us write that hi. Okay, so hi, I am editing or I am writing this from Python. Okay, I am writing this to a file from Python. So we have wrote here that hi, I am writing this from Python. Okay, we are writing this, I am writing this to a file from Python. So we have this write method in which we pass the text which we want to write there, and then we have to close this file. So let us close the file. Now with that, if I will run this code, you will see nothing here because we haven't printed anything yet. But now if in my example, if I will visit my example.txt, let me save it. Okay, so now if you will see here, there was a spelling mistake in this text, in this name. That's why we have created a file here, and the name of that file is example, but the spelling is wrong here. So you have this file where we have the text that hi, I'm writing this text to a file from Python. So now let me delete this file first, and now with that you have an idea that if there is a file which doesn't exist, if I'm going to write to a file which doesn't exist, our Python will create that file for us. So if there is no file named example, let me create a file example.txt. so we have this example.txt here, and now let me delete this and let us write I am magically writing this. So I'm magically writing this. Now let me just delete this file as well. So now currently we don't have any files except of this main.py. So now with running this code, observe here in this menu. Okay, so here you can see we have generated an example.txt file where we have this content. I am magically writing this. So with using write method, if we write to a file which doesn't exist, then we create that file. Our Python will create that file for us. So with using this write method, we can create files as well. Okay, if the files doesn't exist. Now if this file exists and I'm writing this, okay, so this is another text. Let me write this and let me run it. So here now if I will visit this, you will see that we are overwriting the text. Here we had the text, I am magically writing this, but now by running the code we have updated our file and now we have this text over here. So how we can add text, how we can append text, how we can update our file, how we can update file without losing the data which we had before. So currently if I have this is another text, so we have this is another text here. Now if I will change this with, let's say, hello Python. Okay, if I will change this with hello Python and if I will run it again, we'll observe that we have hello Python here, and the text which we had previously in this example.txt is no more there, is disappeared. So what we can do for that is we can use our append method. So now let me clear all this code, and now we will have a comment here that to append data in a file. So to append data in a file, what we can do is we can similarly open our file. So let us open our example. So example.txt. We are opening this example.txt in append mode right now. Okay. So we had these three modes. So let me show you which modes do we have. So we have these modes. Okay. R for reading, then we have W for writing, and then we have A for appending the data. So we have R which says read, W which says write, and A which says append. So we can open our file in these three modes. So currently we are opening our file in append mode. So now let us store this open method to a variable. So let's say file, and now I will use file.write, and we can similarly write, let's say hello file. Okay, so we have hello file text here. Then I can write something else here as well, but first of all let me just close this file. So with using this close method we are closing this file. Now let me run it, and now here you can see we have hello Python, which was the text which we had before the execution of this code, and hello file, which is the text which we have after the execution. So let me just keep this hello Python here. Okay, now let me just create some text. So let me just say this is an example of append mode in file IO. Now let me save it. So currently you can see we have hello Python text here. Now let me save and run this code. So here you can see our code is now executed successfully, and here you can see we have, this is an example of append mode in file IO is here, has been written here. But now what we are doing currently is we are outputting the data in one line only. What if I need this sentence, okay, so this second sentence to be in new line? What I can do for that? So let me just delete it first. So currently we have this hello Python. Now I can use those escape sequences which we learned earlier. So I can use \n here, which will take this sentence to a new line. So what we can do is we can use this \n and we can save it and we can run our code. And here you can see we have this is an example of append mode in file IO. Now we have this sentence on line number 2. So just like that we can manipulate our files with using Python. We can open files, we can read data from files, we can write data to files, and we can append some data onto those files. We can use our \n, \t, those escape sequences. So this is an exercise for you. You have to use \n and \t on your files, and you have to use multiple write methods. So basically that is one more thing which I want to show you, that you can use multiple methods like this. You can also use this like this, and you can say thanks programming with none. Okay, so I have this text here, and now let us run it. And here, okay, so here you can see that we have all those things on our new line as well. And so that's what we can do with these file open and close functions. So this is all about today, guys, and thank you for watching this video, guys, and I will see you in the next